You're standing in the checkout line. You make $85,000 a year. You've got $40,000 sitting in a high-yield savings account. On paper, you're doing great. You're secure. But as the cashier scans that last item, your heart starts pounding harder. Your palms get sweaty. You hold your breath when you tap your card. Deep down, you're terrified the screen is going to flash "declined" and send you right back to square one, even though you know you're fine. If this sounds familiar, you didn't just grow up poor. Poverty literally rewired your brain, and those old survival wires? They're still running in the background, quietly sabotaging your money today. Welcome to Everyday Net Worth. Not a financial advisor, just someone who loves the math and the psychology behind it. Let's dive deep and actually fix this. Let's start with the science, because this isn't just mindset talk. A groundbreaking study from researchers at Princeton and Harvard showed something shocking. When people are stressed about money, it creates this thing they call a bandwidth tax on the brain. It's like your mental energy gets sucked away by constant worry. On average, it drops your cognitive function by the equivalent of 13 IQ points, roughly the same as pulling an all-nighter and losing a full night of sleep. Think about that for a second. You're not less smart. You're not lazy. Your brain is just overloaded, trying to survive in a world that trained it for constant scarcity. Poverty makes you hyper-focused on short-term stuff. How do I pay rent this month? Will the car make it another week? What if the kids need something? That tunnel vision is great for immediate survival, but terrible for building long-term wealth. You lose the bandwidth for compound interest, retirement planning, or even just calm decision-making. I've seen this in so many people. Smart, hardworking folks who escape the numbers, but can't escape the feeling. Let me introduce you to Greg. He's 32 years old now. He works as a software developer making $110,000 a year. Nice apartment, decent car. He's doing better than his parents ever dreamed. But Greg grew up in survival mode. His mom Brenda worked 2, sometimes 3 jobs. The electricity got shut off multiple times before he even hit high school. Every time the phone rang from an unknown number, the whole house went dead silent. It was usually a debt collector. Young Greg learned 2 brutal lessons early. Money is scarce, and money is dangerous. If you get any, you better use it fast before it vanishes. Fast forward to today. Greg gets a $10,000 bonus. His logical brain says, this is perfect for investing. Put it in an index fund and let it grow. But his scarcity brain? It panics. It screams, spend it now? The car might break down. Someone might get sick. An emergency is coming. It always does. So what does he do? He buys a $4,000 watch, a new gaming setup, takes friends out to fancy dinners. He's not stupid. He's not undisciplined. He's running an old survival program that worked when he was a kid, but is destroying him as an adult. This is the feast-or-famine response. When you grow up with nothing, your brain learns that resources don't last. So when money appears, you consume it immediately. This is exactly why so many lottery winners, inheritance recipients, and even big bonus earners end up right back where they started. Their brain is still preparing for a famine that, in their new life, isn't actually coming. Think about your own life. Ever gotten a tax refund or bonus and watched it disappear in weeks? Yeah, that's not random. That's programming. Now, let's talk about what happens if Greg tries to be responsible and save instead. This is where the second trap hits even harder: extreme loss aversion. Imagine Greg and his coworker Marcus. Same salary, same age, same opportunities, but totally different backgrounds. Marcus grew up upper middle class. Dinner table talks were about stocks, investments, long-term planning. He puts $1,000 every month into an S&P 500 index fund. He knows the market fluctuates, but over decades, it averages around 10% returns. He's playing the long game. Greg also saves $1,000 a month, but he keeps every penny in a regular savings account earning almost nothing. Why? Because the idea of the principal dropping even temporarily terrifies him. What if the market crashes? What if I lose everything like we almost did when I was a kid? To Marcus, money is a tool for growth. To Greg, money is a shield against the trauma he remembers. Let's look at the cold math over 30 years. Assuming 7% real return after inflation, Marcus ends up with roughly $1.2 million. Greg, his cash pile, eroded by 3% annual inflation, ends up with the purchasing power of only about $230,000 in today's dollars. That's nearly $1 million left on the table. All because of fear. Loss aversion is real neuroscience too. Studies show the pain of losing money lights up the brain's fear centers, the amygdala, much stronger than the pleasure of gaining the same amount. For people with financial trauma, that response is cranked up to 11. There's a third trap that hits people escaping poverty especially hard. It's driven by identity and shame. I call it the status tax. When you spent your childhood feeling less than, wrong clothes, old car, embarrassed to invite friends over, finally, making money feels like your chance to prove the world wrong. So Greg buys the luxury car on a long loan. He leases a fancier apartment. He picks up every dinner tab. He wears designer stuff that doesn't even feel comfortable. He's not just buying things. He's trying to buy the feeling of, I'm not that poor kid anymore. But real wealth, true financial freedom, it's mostly invisible. It's the money quietly compounding in accounts while you sleep. It's options. It's peace of mind at 3 a.m., not the Instagram posts. Paying this status tax is expensive. It keeps you trapped in the same cycle, just at a higher income level. If any of this is hitting home, if you're tired of your brain working against your bank account, do me a favor right now. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We go deep on these behavioral traps and real fixes every single week. You don't want to miss what's coming. So how do you fix a brain that was built for scarcity? You can't just positive think your way out. You have to hack the system with smart habits that work with your psychology, not against it. Step 1. Automate everything. Your willpower is no match for an amygdala screaming danger. Remove the choice. The day you get paid, automatically transfer 15 to 20% straight into investments. You never see it, so your scarcity brain can't freak out. Set it and forget it. Step 2. Build a trauma-proof emergency fund. Standard advice is 3 to 6 months of expenses. For people with financial trauma, that's not enough to calm the nervous system. Build 9 to 12 months in a high-yield savings account first. This creates real psychological safety. Once that fortress is there, you can invest the rest more aggressively without constant anxiety. Step 3. Reframe what money means to you. Consciously change the story. Money is no longer a scarce threat or a status symbol. Every dollar is an employee you hire. Your job is to send those employees out to work in the market 24/7, so you don't have to. Step 4. Do small exposure therapy. Every month, invest a small amount you can afford to watch. Even if the market dips, watch it recover. Prove to your brain through repeated small experiences that temporary losses aren't the end of the world. This slowly rewires the fear response. Step 5. Address the emotional roots. Journal about specific money memories from childhood. Talk to a therapist who understands financial trauma if you can. The more you process the old pain, the less power it has over your decisions today. Let's check back in with Greg. He started small. He automated his transfers. He built that 12-month buffer, which finally quieted the 3 a.m. panic attacks. He stopped the status spending and started seeing money as a tool. 6 months later, his anxiety dropped dramatically. He's not just surviving anymore. He's actually building wealth. And most importantly, he feels free. This isn't just about you. Growing up poor doesn't just affect your brain. It can pass down through generations. Brenda passed her fears to Greg without meaning to. Studies show kids who experience long-term poverty are far more likely to stay in it as adults. But the good news? The cycle breaks when one person does the hard work of rewiring. You become the example. Your kids watch you automate investing, talk calmly about money, build real security instead of just appearances. That's how generational wealth actually starts. Not with a big inheritance, but with changed behavior and mindset. Greg did the work. His life changed. Yours can too. But here's the brutal truth most people miss. Even if you fix your scarcity mindset and start saving and investing aggressively, there's another silent killer quietly destroying net worth in 2026. It's something you probably do every single day and think is totally normal. It's called lifestyle creep, and the math on how it quietly steals your future is shocking. If you want to see exactly how much it's costing you, and the one simple rule that can stop it cold, click the video popping up on your screen right now. I break down the 50% anti-creep rule and show real numbers on how it turns average salaries into serious wealth. If you want to get rich, you only need to memorize one rule sometimes. But there are more psychological traps too. I'll see you over there. Thanks for watching. Drop a comment with your biggest takeaway today. I read them all. And remember, you're not broken. Your brain just needs better programming. Let's build that wealth together.